Today's full round breakdown, I'm going to show you how I went from getting nearly taken out to then taking out over half the enemy team on a match point. Good work, team. So at the start of this round, I was actually distracted and unaware of where the bomb site initially was. My operator pick was based on my assumption that the enemy was still playing in hookah and billiards. So my initial plan was to actually just push main lobby here and then rotate up white stairs towards luggage. However, as I noticed, Dokkaebi goes on rappel here and I drone it out. When I get to the top of the stairs, I realize that they're actually playing in penthouse and theater.
Yeah, they got a proxy. Oh, what the hell? I wasn't even paying attention to what site we're on. It's clear, you can swing in.
As I noticed the site change, I call out to Dokkaebi that it is clear and she can swing in. And my plan is to cover her flank on luggage and push billiards to see if anybody is rotating on the opposite side of the map. I did briefly hear some footsteps, and so I assumed they were behind bar. So as I drop down here, I expect them to be pushing out towards the billiards table. Unexpectedly, they were up against the wall and I missed my shots, so I used my tracks gadget to cover my push, and I was planning on using the smoke as cover, but unfortunately, as you see, it doesn't work out for me and I get nearly taken out. I do want to break down what I did wrong here and what I could have changed differently, so we're going to go ahead and reverse it a little bit and break it down frame by frame. Starting off on my drone, I actually believe the enemy was sitting in the corner the entire time. As replaying how I droned it out, I completely missed a good few feet of Billiards' corner. And even if he was behind bar, I don't think he could have rotated to this corner in the amount of time it took me to drop into luggage and peek the door. So mistake number one was ineffective droning. So what was wrong with the firefight? Using the tracks gadget was a good call to cover my push. However, the idea of using the smoke as concealment wasn't, due to the fact of how the smoke looks. It isn't always the same for you as it is for the enemy. Now, even if it was, my positioning is putting me at a disadvantage. Smoke here has the cover behind the billiards table, so the only thing I can see is his head, which makes him a small target. As I pushed into Aqua, I had no cover. Now, although I was crouching, my entire body is still exposed, and even if I was semi-concealed by the smoke, the enemy still has a much greater chance of seeing me through the smoke than I do due to the vast differences of target sizes. What I should have done is backed off into luggage, held an angle into billiards from the boxes next to the window, and either forced him to rotate back to sight or push into me, and I had a much greater advantage with the firefight.
Got a minute 15.
Having been saved by my wonderful teammates, we now only have a minute on the board. It's a 4v4, and I only have 20 health. Urgency sets in, and it's time to get aggressive.
There's one right here, on 5 ping on his drone.
An absolutely perfect call out by Raker allows me to nade out Kaid and get the first kill. Having not droned VIP and it being a common spot to sit, I nade out the bookshelf of VIP corner to cover my flank, and I'm able to take out Tubarao as well.
He's back, he's right here.
I then heard Fenrir's MP7 close right and swung the door, expecting him to be there. Seeing the common rotate from VIP to Master, I pre-fired that just in case he was going to rotate back and swing me. Maverick was able to take him out instead, so with 35 seconds left and significant numbers on our side being a 4v1, I decided to make the push for sight. As soon as I un-ADS'd, Azami pushed out of theater, so I rotated behind the reinforced wall briefly to gain cover and then just reacquired my target as she swung past her Kiba barrier, and I was able to take her out.
Good work, team.
Thank you for watching. I hope you got some information out of today's full round breakdown. Learning from our mistakes is how we improve in this game, and I hope by showing my wins as well as my losses, I'm able to help teach all of you something new. As always, new round, fresh start. Take it easy, and we'll see you guys in the next round.